Welcome back. To Bronze League Heroes! With 2 heroes. This was titled, I don't know anymore, but it comes recommended and titled Dirty Protoss. I don't know anything more than that. We've all heard of Dirty Protoss before. We've all experienced it. There's already a forge on the way, but let me introduce you to our first Terran hero. It is, Yizo. We'll just go with Zoe. Because, I'm gonna really struggle, and also I'd like to buy a vowel in a different part of the word. But anyways, that's a pylon. That's a pylon. And who is that? We're in the ballpark of a cannon rush here. Ballpark. Oh, we're gonna have fun with this one. Let's see. He's gonna have his first base. Will he have a second, a third? Will he make it all the way home? I'm really just forcing these. I mean, the cannon's on the way. I don't know what this scout pattern was from the SCV. If you wanted to see anything, there's a cannon right outside your base. Zoe sees it. Patience from Zoe. Okay, now he's bringing down 3 SCVs, which isn't gonna be enough to stop the cannon. He's bringing down a 4th SCV. That will, well, he didn't really start on the cannon quickly enough. So now the cannon finishes, and he's filled with regret. But he's gonna go back home and fill himself with determination. On the other side, the SCV going to work on Ballpark's pylon. Pylon's on the top of the ramp, and we're off to the races. First Marine's gonna come out. If he can just deny high ground vision, you're gonna... What are you doing, Marine? Wait, he's targeting the barracks! How did that even happen? The probes... how did he miss-target the Marine? Who knows? Anyways, the SCV's still going to work. It only powers the forge. The Marine survives, just barely. Cannons are on the way. Did he wall in his own probes? I don't think so, but the cannons cannot be powered from the low ground because the technology for Protoss simply isn't there yet. They lost that in the ancient sands of time before the Spear of Adun or whatever. Bunker comes up. Good response so far from Zoe. The probes! 5, 6 more probes on the way. The SCV, the independent observer here saying, wait a second, you get back here. You're not allowed to have that many probes. The regulations say that's far too many probes. But he's pulling the boys. He started the tables on the Terran. A single Marine in a bunker still going to work, but more probes are here. 2 Marines in the bunker. He's got enough for a couple more cannons. He's gonna use it. Okay, the bunker. It's not in range of these cannons. He needs to pop the Marines out. He does, but the probes are on the hunt. He's got a serious problem in his base right now. Ballpark going deep in the paint. The Marines are going to work, but the probes are gonna fight the Marines. Will they get one? They get one. And the cannons are on the way. Is he gonna lift in time? He lifts. He immediately loads in. He didn't have an orbital. I don't know if that's on purpose or by accident. We'll leave it up to the historians to decide. But he is evacuating. There's a tech lab on the way. Is there enough? There's enough to build a tank or a cyclone, technically. The bunker will hold, but the probes are fighting the SCVs. The survivors are under attack. They're waiting to be evacuated, but will help come. Will the command center... This entire game is up in the air, just like the command center of Zoe. He's bringing the Marines back. He's gonna do his best. You can't fight 3 cannons with 3 Marines. The math does not check out, but you can fight cannons that aren't done. But he doesn't go for the cannon that's finishing first. No cancel out of Ballpark. The probes are pulled. They're gonna fight the Marines. He could go back for the bunker. He doesn't. The cannon is here. The cannon just whipping its face around, hitting whatever it can. The command center lands. Ballpark only has 9 probes mining, but that's 9 more probes mining than Zoe had. Well, I guess Zoe doesn't have any probes, but you got the idea. The tank comes out. He might be able to stop this. There are still... Wait, where did the probes... Did he recall the probes? He recalled the probes, and I missed it. Oh my god. The cannon's still coming up. Will it be canceled? It looks like it'll get a couple shots off. It's somehow outranging the bunker, just barely, but the cannon is shut down, and now we get to play the game. A gateway and an assimilator. against a Terran. Well, wait, no, the Trail of Tears! The SCVs are transferred, but they're not gonna make it! It's a disaster. He loses so much. But, so there's a tank. He has the supplies, 16 to 15, remarkably even. He's gonna go, there isn't vision. Okay, smartly done. Zoe taking it surprisingly cautiously after this whole exchange. We were just, everybody simmer down, chill out. He's gonna break out of his base. Ballpark has invested a lot. How many probes? He lost 3 probes. 13 SCVs have died. It's 16 to 10 workers. But there is a tank. Oh, almost in range of the cannons there. He's rebuilding his barracks. He could build potentially a starport. A cyber core is finishing up. Gonna put some cannons in the front. At the very least, it'll slow a tank down. He's retaking his main. We're gonna have a couple bit like, why are you even building at the main at this point is a great question. Like, he could just kind of build it on the low ground, but I guess he has the SCVs here. You might as well, why not? So we're gonna go into what we're gonna very, very, very loosely call a macro game. Alright. Oh god, we lost him! We lost Ballpark! He went to the beer counter, the beer stand, I don't know, the beer cart, whatever you have at the ballpark. Where they charge you $7 for Bud Light. And you hate everything. Especially because you're watching America's Pastime. And then you think about the word pastime. And you're like, wow, I could be passing my time. I could get a 30 rack of Bud Light for the price I'm paying for this beer right now. Or at least most of it. Why am I here? It's hot. This is the only sport where the athletes are okay if they don't run a 40-yard dash in under 10 seconds. I say this as someone who played baseball for many years. It is, well, anyways. So, it appears that Ballpark is playing this like a baseball game, where after a certain amount of time, we switch sides. Okay, we switch sides, and we take a short break, and then we get back to the action. And he might be throwing very hard. We'll find out. Or he might just end up striking out. No, we're all done. We're done. We're done. Okay. We gotta walk away from these puns. Okay. Stop it. Stop it. So there... Zoe is... He has an orbital. The rest of his production is in his base. He's like kinda trying to feel like he's still in his main, but he isn't. So he keeps putting his units kinda close to it. There is a Void Ray on the way. The classic follow-up here, of course, is wait, where did the Void Ray go? He built a Void Ray, I swear. Why didn't I think of that? On top of the protecting cannon. And it's always a great game when I can say it looks like the Terran player is about to re-expand to his main base. The scan? That's a good solid scan there out of Zoe. He doesn't see the first Void Ray, but I mean you can see 2 Stargates. You get the information. From here, the observer's gonna take the... I'm not surprised. He doesn't actually know. If we look at the ballpark vision, he has not yet seen where his opponent sent his command center. He knows it went somewhere, but he doesn't actually know where. And this is an important consideration. And he's sending the other observer. Eventually, he will find out, oh, okay, he's just kind of camping out on his lawn. But we're at a bit of an impasse here, because neither player has the units they need to put together a successful attack. The observer finds the base. The other observer is going to be coming in. Somehow the supply is nearly even throughout this whole exchange. An Oracle, the assorted sample pack of Stargate units is coming together. Throwing an Oracle in the mix. 2 Oracles now. Maybe he decides after his free trial of Oracles, he decides to subscribe and get more Oracle facts. Fun fact. Did you know that Oracles in the beta originally had an ability called, like, I believe it was Replicate, where they could replicate I don't know much about that, but there was one where they did like a stasis ward, but on the minerals in like the Heart of the Swarm beta, or maybe it was Legacy. I don't know. I'm old now. But they could put a stasis. It was called like Entomb, and it would put like a stasis and it have HP on your minerals. I believe this is in co-op sometimes. And then you'd have to kill it and to be able to mine your minerals, but you could kind of do it with your workers, but it was annoying. So, if you want to subscribe to Oracle Facts, just make sure to activate your Oracle. Did you know that the Pulsar Beam was changed from spell damage to regular damage, and then back to spell damage? Spell damage unaffected by armor, which is a pretty strong buff. So it's been kind of adjusted back and forth, and I think we landed on it being spell damage, but technically acts like a weapon. I don't actually know. I'm going to need a revelation to figure out all these facts about oracles. I'm starting to realize I never knew anything about oracles. Or did I? So this is a 1-tank, 12 marine push. The oracles are... they kill a tank on the other side. There is a Viking. The cannon's serving their purpose of stalling out the push. Yeah, type a kappa in the comments in order to learn more about oracles, and I'm sure people can make things up in chat or on YouTube. So the pylons are falling, but there are 5 Void Rays. Is that enough? Does he charge? The Void Rays, fun fact, does not do extra damage to anything but armored units like siege tanks. But here's the big question. If Ballpark doesn't know that, what do you think are the chances that Zoe knows that the prismatic alignment doesn't do extra damage to Marines? You see, it's a mental victory there. The production lines continue. There's an observer seeing all of this. It appears though as he's stabilized. Whereas Ballpark is coming across with the 5 Void Ray assassination team. What is there to respond? There's 4 Vikings, and 19 Marines, which seems like enough. There's Stim +1. Zoe has been doing a pretty solid job of getting his life back on track here, getting where he wanted to be. Whereas I'm not entirely sure Ballpark had a real plan past the cannon rush in the first place. I bet there were like some slam poetry or some thought circles or something, but I doubt he had a specific idea of exactly where he wanted to go with this. Anyways, the Void Rays charge up. They're burning through the main, but the repair is there. Here comes some Vikings. He's going for the SCVs. The Vikings will micro away pretty well, but is it well enough? The prismatic alignment does slow these down. The Marines making their way up. They didn't stim, and they're kind of just trickling into things. There are Widow Mines. Is that a masterful bait? It looks like the hit's coming through. The second hit. And barely anything survives. It's devastation for everyone involved. But the Void Ray was 7 kills. So almost every single unit obliterated in this exchange, and finally down goes the Void Ray. What a knockdown, drag out, brawl of a fight. Those Void Rays just swinging at everything and seeing what they can hit, whereas Zoe desperately trying to keep from critical damage being done. He will stop. He will keep the command center alive. He will still have his production. He didn't lose too many SCVs. He's going to transfer from his main at his 3rd back to his natural, which is in his main, the SCVs which were originally mining from there. Obviously. So, the other army is coming across. Somehow we're almost dead even on the supply. And what is in front? He's decided, oh, the cannon's coming up just in time. Oh, charge is done? Where did he find the time for that? You know where he found all that? He found all that money from those $7 Bud Lights, okay? Why anybody would pay $7 for sweat water that had... you'd have more alcohol if you drank the 30 rack of beer and then just ingested the sweat of... This is disgusting, by the way. This is a disgusting analogy, much like everything about actually going to a ballpark as something to do for fun. Moving on. By the way, speaking of disgusting, this dirty Protoss build. And there's a lot of Whittle mines, but does he care? He does not. The Vikings can fly. So that's a big breakthrough for them. And they'll just kind of leave. So, yeah, there is no warp gate. No warp gate, but we're playing it like Brood War. He's just pumping the Zealots right out. The question is, does he even know what warp gate is? Does he need it? Of course not. Inspired by the sewer mermaid Florencio himself, it appears. Ballpark with the unique strats. The hidden Zealot trick coming in. But Liberators, so Zealots don't kill Liberators. The charge is just all the way across the board. He's going to get straight through the bunker. The Liberator is going to rain down indiscriminate freedom on these Zealots, but they can only cover so much space here. Okay, well, the SCVs are leading him through the liberation zones. The Zealots are just all over the place. They can't figure out what they want. Several will survive. Are the Vikings gonna land? Of course they are. Vikings on the deck. Whittle mine from the high ground. Connects from downtown. A Zealot fighting a Viking. Viking comes out on top. Doesn't happen often. So he says, guess what? You know what the problem really was? Didn't have enough Void Rays. A classic Protoss mistake at this level. And by this level, I mean slightly above nothing. We've got 2 Stargates. He gets 3. Wait, no, we have 6 Stargates. Stargate Command in Ballpark's base. He's warping in the Void Rays. He's not warping in the Zealots. He's pumping them out. Cannons across the board. Zoe's just trying to play like he saw in all those YouTube guides he skimmed over and definitely used ad block on. He's like, well, I'm supposed to get Marines and upgrades and try to get a few bases. And, it's okay. So he's trying to put all that together, but is he prepared? Is he prepared to deal with not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, not 5, but 6 Stargates of Void Rays at any time, up to 5 of which are producing? Observers all over the place. High-sec auto-tracking for turrets. I mean, I feel like it's justified after all this. The army has no idea what it's in for. Ballpark is now at 120 supply. The Zealots... Oh, they died pretty quickly. But, how many Void Rays? Well, there's still only 3 Void Rays. So, do they have any upgrades? He has +1 ground weapons. There's 1/1 here for Zoe. Zoe will once again try to... No, the Vikings are on the ground. Unfortunately, now the Void Rays are in the air. So the Vikings are back in the air. Maybe thinking we don't... Well, the Void Rays are hamstrung by their own prismatic alignment. But now they can chase down the Vikings. Zoe microing back pretty well, but... one of the Vikings is chased. Ballpark is still ahead in supply, but... I think it would be irresponsible to make a judgment as to who is winning this game. Because the normal metrics of how many workers or upgrades or units or production or common sense or reality don't apply here. So the Void Rays charge up, which means they'll kill 1 Viking and now not be able to kill the other Vikings. So the Vikings will chase them down, the units of which they were supposed to counter, in a interesting role reversal. The Void Ray comes back in, but it's a little late for that, and the Vikings take them out. But wait, there are more! Another 4 Void Ray hit squad coming in from the south. He knows this base. Planetary fortresses, a fatal flaw. Do not shoot up. Turrets do, but he has none of those. They're barracks in production. The Vikings are on their way back. He's got 6 Vikings total. Widowmine's making their way down. The charge up is there. He's not repairing the base. Like 2 SCVs are pulled. Widowmine's desperately. He doesn't know he can cancel prismatic alignment or he's too proud to care. The Vikings will micro back. Zoe suddenly in a supply lead as he's killing all these Void Rays. There are now the only units Ballpark has on the whole map are 7 observers. We're not sure if it's a Protoss or if it's Sauron over here. He can see everything. But what is the plan to actually kill it? Of course, a fleet beacon is on the way, as well as 5 more pylons, because Ballpark, at 73 out of 180 supply, hadn't quite reached the capability of maxing out yet. You can never have too many pylons. As they say, you must construct additional pylons. He's just going at... Give me! Oh my god! Calm down. But cannons can make up for a lot here. It's 68 to 19 army supply, but have you considered that the CPM, the cannons per minute, is reaching towards 1? He's only got 8 cannons right now, but he's building 10 more! And they're all over here in a beautiful, seemingly random spread in the general vicinity of the base. His army's just kind of chilling. There's been observers over everything right now. The main base, we never thought it would come to this after the beginning, but it is mining out. So that is, I would say unexpected, but I don't know what is to be expected at this point. There's a scan. There's another scan. He scans the base. He does not scan the zealots. Will that matter? There's 6 Tempests on the way. That's happening. That's all the commentary I have for you on that. Another observer. We're up to... No, wait. That's one of the observers from the main. Don't worry. He has 3 observers in reserve, just in case. You never know. This is more observers than a random WCS Challenger qualifier lobby where you know somebody's going to lag and a pro player, is going to say in broken English how pissed off they are about it. That is... very common on WCS EU, but even there are more observers than this. It's a whole problem, but that has nothing to do with this game at all. The zealots are moving in. Is there a planetary? There's not! The observer will be gunned down by a turret out of nowhere, but the zealots come in! Zoe's gonna pull back. He lifts again! He's so on top of the lifts! He does even lift. Widow memes? They're on the chase. Right now, there are times when Ballpark is hitting 0 APM. Oh wait, Zoe's at 0. It's unclear. Both players just kind of watching the fight. This isn't direct strike. But the Tempest count is growing. As is the Viking count, though. Well, Tempests are a pretty good counter. He's getting +1. 73 to 59 workers. But is it Zoe's turn to attack? He's putting everything together, consolidating his forces. He's got sensor towers covering the entire northern half of the map. The whole thing. There is literally no way a Void Ray can slip by. Hopefully he's downloaded the minimap DLC so he can actually see units on it. The Tempest count. He's going to have 6 more in a moment. +1 weapons is done. This is still not an easy army. Like, that's a lot of Tempests. And tanks, not a great counter to Tempest. Oh, is he going to siege up on top of the Widow Mines? Advanced tactics here. That actually can work. You siege on top of the Widow Mines, you can't really see the Widow Mines because, well, they're on top of them. It's advanced strategies. A big stim coming out. Here come the Tempest, though, from downtown. The Vikings, he stims underneath. There's going to be some cannon coverage. The Vikings doing their best, but their best might not be good enough to beat these Tempests. Some of the tanks getting hit. The Marines, it takes a lot of shots to take them down, but he has a lot of Tempests. There are a dozen Tempests on the field. He's not building any more Zealots. He's got 2 more Stargates in production, because you know what, he didn't have enough Stargates. That may actually be true. These Marines are going deep in the paint. The Marauders right behind them. The cannons helping out. The Tempests are going to clean all this up. At this point, there's no real hope of actually beating the Tempest. He just has to worry about what happens next. Ballpark is holding on. He's gonna clean up all the Marines and Marauders. But, wait, what? Oh, the Tempests are going to work. The Widow Mines are still in position. Some incredible Widow Mine hits. Oh, looks like he's gonna take out one of the Tempests here. Is Drilling Claws done? Drilling Claws is done! Drilling Claws is done! They'll stay cloaked! Where are those reserve observers? Reservers. Nope, bad. Nope. Nope. You got what I was going for. Reserve. No, just stop it. I don't. Stop it. Stop while you're not too far behind. Ballpark has never heard these words before. And here come the reservers. A scan! He had an idea for it. Oh, wait. No, where are you going? Come back! Jesus Christ! Massive Widow Mine hits. Where are they just... They got them. They're very independent, okay? They're strong, independent observers who don't need no Tempests. Just go out to the middle of the map. Looks like one responsible, like, you guys, we have to see the Widow Mines. It's not a phase, Mom. I'm an attacking unit. You cost 1 supply. You're the only unit besides a probe, and you have less of an attack. Go back and look for the Widow Mines. Clean out them. Oh no! The Widow Mines! They failed again! Another big hit! It hit the reserves, sir! So, he's trying to put it all together. Where are they? What are you doing? Why are you still here? Are there enough Vikings? 4 Vikings. Definitely not enough Vikings, but the Widow Mines. The Widow Mines are the dream. The Thor is here! Because at some point, it was inevitable. What? The Widow Mines are hitting! The Thor, the splash damage! Gonna kill 1 Tempest! Going for 2! He's gonna find big deeps! The Tempest turn on him! The Marines are stimming underneath! Ballpark being chased down by little men with guns shooting up at massive capital ships! And the men with guns are winning! He's tearing through everything! Well, it's hard to really tell what's happening over here. He scans to see the Tempest. 200 IQ plays, but he can't. Well, this is awkward. Wait, is it? Okay, I guess it was in range. At the end of the day, Ballpark is now gonna have to decide. Oh, he's got a bunch more Tempest because why wouldn't he? He's got 11 Tempests. There's nothing else in production. He's really married to the whole Stargate idea. Some zealots out there. He's building like 1 probe. Zoe has 80 SCVs, which is maybe too many SCVs. The zealots are coming down. What kind of upgrades are we looking at here? The stud a step. But at the same time, the Tempests are going to work. Action on both sides of the map. He's real trigger happy on the scans. Meanwhile, the Tempests are killing all the Vikings, so you know that's not as good. The Marines are really angry at those. Oh, some more. The Tempest micro is on point. Nothing else being produced for Ballpark. He's very focused on the Tempest micro. Oh, the Thor's not in high impact mode, but they're in high impact enough. They do have +1 mech weapons, but they're getting one-shot by the wave of Tempest up here. He's got a dozen or so, maybe 10. He's shelling from downtown. Is there anything but Marines? There's only 24 Marines on the field. Is it gonna... And half the Marines are addicted to the stim and stuck in the middle of the map, just like the reserves are. Both players are really trying to put it together. He's going to go forward into the cannons. A questionable decision. Is he researching rapid reignition system? I didn't even know what the actual name of that was. That's how little that is researched. Even less than high-sec auto-tracking. But, okay, so the Marines all die horribly. But wait, there's more! He's like, wait a second, I got more. I got more, don't worry. He can't beat the Tempest. We're going into a base trade. The Zealots are on top of everything. There's 1 Banshee. There's 1 Banshee. I don't know how it already took damage, but it has. There's a Thoros here. The Tempest. Does he know how? Does he recall? The bases are mined out. There's like 1 money. Oh, he recalls the Tempest. A beautiful choice. He can take out Zoe's army. Zoe is also supply blocked. Ballpark is keeping it together. Neither side has very many minerals. They have a lot of gas, but they're running out of it potentially mentally at this point, as the decisions make less and less sense over time. Two Tempests were left behind to guard the territory they have already conquered, but that's a bit of a questionable decision. The boys! All of the SCVs are... not all of them, but a lot of them. He has still 70-something. Is he floating? No, he's not floating the command center. Are we long-distance mining? The Vikings hunt down the abandoned Tempests, and they will be left to die alone. We're gonna long-distance mine with, like, 35 SCVs. Because he's mined out after the cannon rush, after the Tempest, after the Void Race. This is what's left. Just gonna build the command center. The beauty of this is Zoe still has more mineral income. Because the bases are mined out or killed. If Ballpark would bring all his units together and attack, instead of moving them like tower defense, then this game might look different. But we're here now, 30 minutes in! It honestly hasn't felt like that. The Tempests are in position once the Zealot wave of this direct strike game is over. The Planetary, a pretty good counter to Zealots. He's gonna... The Widow Mines actually... I don't know what he expected there. But here come the Tempests. Here comes the next wave. But wait, he doesn't have detection! The Widow Mines! 3 hits, almost killing a wave of Tempests. But where are the units from Zoe? The Marines are coming back, but they're filtered by their own barracks and Planetary. He's gonna micro back into the corner again. There's a handful. 8 Vikings. 8 Tempests. There's a bunch of Void Rays back at home, by the way. The Vikings are trying to flank, but neither side is able to put together their full forces. He's microing back, each shot killing a Tempest, but the Vikings doing pretty well themselves. The Marines are not getting involved. This is a air-only fight. Okay, no ground units allowed. The Tempest win. Zoe still has... He's building Marines and Thors and Vikings, though. The war of attrition. There's another Banshee. Oh, that's how they keep taking damage. The trickle just continues adding up. He's lost so many Vikings. This started with... Oh, here are the Void Rays! He charges them up once again, doing no extra damage against Marines. A scan. Yep, those are definitely Void Rays. He confirms. They're starting to burn through everything. What does he have at the back? Thor is out. Are there any more Widow Mines? Somehow the supplies are even. Oh, Thor's going to work. Some more Vikings coming up. Marines underneath. The upgrades 1, 1, 2, 1. What doesn't really matter. We'll see what happens. The Vikings microing back. The Tempest not getting involved where they should definitely be involved. The Tempests are killing the Planetary. This base is done. He's got 44 SCVs and 12 effective mineral patches. Or 12 effectively mining, rather. The Vikings still. There's a right click on the barracks, meaning the Vikings are going to kill another one. How are the supplies this close? Because Zoe is actually building units. A great advantage for him. But the Tempests, will they be baited in? These 2 Widow Mines have racked up a lot of damage, even if not that many kills. The Tempest count is thinning out. The Vikings are going to work. 91 and 90 supply. The Vikings starting to thin out the Tempest. He's working his way through. The Widow Mines soften them up, and the Vikings might... And a Thor! He's down to 2. It might be enough. And Zoe holds. Oh, wait, there's Void Rays. Where did they come from? There's still Void Rays. They're gonna kill the Vikings. Void Ray wins. But wait, there's a Thor. But wait, there's Thor. Wait, the Void Ray. Kills the Thor. He tried to repair it. Desperately. 89 to 77 supply. The battle continues. 2 Vikings. 6 more Void Rays on the way. The Vikings going to work. Down goes the Void Ray. They will write songs about him. They will speak of that Void Ray and how it broke through the last. They'll speak of the what it left behind. It was the legacy of the Void. But now there's more. 7 Void Rays at a time. Ballpark. Working his way through. This observer's just been chilling. It's been ballparked here the whole match. The Liberators are gonna do some relatively ineffective scouting. Jimmy, this is not... Can we... Brood War has the epic music, right? I guess. This isn't even Brood War music. Anyways, the liberation, the Venn diagram of freedom, denying the Nexus in a beautiful manner as well. The Void Rays, he's splitting the Void Rays! More like a Noid Rays. Because he's done using them like toy rays. And he's gonna make a lot of noise for it. No, stop it! It's time to stop! He's okay. He cancels the command center. There's actually not that much money left. The mules, their sad lives cut even shorter by the extra strong roid rays. I don't ballpark that okay, give me that one. So three Void Rays on each side. What are the units? We've got 13 Void Rays and 4 Zealots and a handful. We got some probes and observers. A Thor, he's gonna live. What? Where are you going? What is this? Musical command centers? Why don't you just... You got one right here. You got orbital right. It's right there, Zoe. Now, the interesting thing is there's all... Well, without the Thor, there's not very many ground units at all. All the Void Rays are going towards the production. Remember, this started with a cannon rush. Oh, the Zealots find SCVs. Not that Zoe is really hurting that badly for him. The Void Rays looking for an opportunity. There's 3 protecting the little bit of mining he has in the corner. Both sides on opposite corners, finding their way through. The Zealots still rampaging through the mineral line, if you can call it that. Quite a line. But the Void Rays are in the main! The Vikings are on the ground dealing with the Zealots. They gotta scramble back. Void Rays fully aligned. The Prismatics all lined up. Burning through the factory as well, where the Thors came from that helped so much. But a lot of Vikings. There's still a Widow Mine. That Widow Mine has hit like 4 or 5 Void Rays this game. It hasn't killed many, but... Oh, gonna kill another one now. Beautiful Viking micro. Just really good. Like, very fluid. Much like a wave of... I don't know what I'm saying. The turret comes in, and suddenly ballpark. Looks like these Void Rays are striking out. What is he? He's building Zealots out of his gateways, as he doesn't have the money for Warp Gate at 37 minutes and 30 seconds. 30 Void Rays, 25 Tempests, and 69 Zealots have died. Zoe is long distance mining from whatever base this is. He's moved another command center over here. He's making use of his add-ons. He built another factory. There's still 6 Void Rays on the map. Ballpark is back. He's expanding to whatever bases he kind of just finds out there. They're both expanding towards one another. Where once they were driven to opposite corners, now they must come together. As the scarcity of resources affects them all. More Zealots on the way. Phoenix is being built. Phoenix is faster than Vikings, but a lot less effective at killing them. We'll see. Does he have ship weapon? There is +1 ship weapons against 1/1. Ballpark is gonna go for the production again. Now, honestly, is there even... He has a lot of Zealots. He's got 18 Zealots. So, I guess the Vikings? Well, we'll see. He'll have to come back. His base has been taken. Oh, wait. Are we base trading? Oh, well, of course. He's like, there's no home to go back to. There are no minerals left. Either we go forward or we go nowhere. For what may be the last time, we're gonna attack one another. There's nothing besides a couple Widow Mines that will recharge and hope. Oh, the Zealots! Oh, what a choke point! The add-on saving the day! He's desperately trying to get through. Meanwhile, the units barreling into the main. The Thor is finally taken down. It held strong for so long. Here come the Phoenixes. Down goes the Raven. No spells cast. The Vikings microing back. Ballpark, his units being chewed through by the torpedoes of the Vikings. Desperately, what does he have left? He's building 7 Void Rays, but the Stargates are under attack. The Zealots are still working their way through. The base is gone. How much will he be able to lift? There's still a couple command centers to work with. Ballpark is building, once again, 7 Void Rays, but he has almost nothing else. The production being gutted. If he recalls the Zealots, but he doesn't even have that many Zealots to recall. There's no warp gate. One of the Stargates is depowered. If all the Vikings are on the ground and these Void Rays come out, that could create an interesting situation. We're not sure what each player is looking at right now. The Stargates, he's going for the pylons. Will he get them in time? The Stargates, seconds from completion, but he hasn't depowered any of them. He's targeting the last pylon, but all the Void Rays come out. All the Void Rays come out, but he gets back into the air. He hops right back up. Technically, the Zealots could kill everything if it isn't lifted. The Void Rays, not enough. The Viking Micro, perfected over 40 minutes. He hits the deck again. And suddenly, all there's left is probes. These Widow Mines, another hit, and another hit. He's building a planetary in the corner. He's pulling it all together. He's trying to make sure, are there any more buildings to lift? Okay, this is a real concern. If he doesn't lift his buildings, probes are being trapped. He's built more Stargates behind his cannons. Ballpark is not tapping out yet. We're going into extra innings. Who can throw harder? He finds the planetary. The Zealots are on the chase. The orbital, full energy here. He does not have a planetary at the other base, but this planetary is about to complete. Will it be enough to hold the line? The main base, it appears Zoe has lost momentum. He's trying to hold on. He will hold on for now. He's down to 31 workers. The Zealots are trickling into the planetary. They're just gonna go for the SCVs. He doesn't know about the other base. He's trying to figure out what's happening. The planetary being repaired. The Zealots can't get through. It doesn't have armor, but that doesn't matter when there's only like 6 Zealots. The Stargates are done. He has enough money for even more. There is no fleet beacon. He can only build... Oh, there's also some Void Rays here. Cannons are being built. Ballpark, not giving it up. By the way, Liberators. All the Zealots are dead. Only air units remain. Ballpark needs to build units. He has only 3 Void Rays. Whereas Zoe, he has no production facilities. He has no barracks. He has no factory. He has no starports. He can't build any more units. He's building 3 more barracks. He's trying to put it all together. The attack continues. The Vikings are all over the deck. There are still there are 66 probes on this base. He's building cannons. More Void Rays in production. Does he realize he has Void Rays over here? He's not even bothering with. He has the money, but he's putting it all into cannons. Zoe is trying to hold on. The Void Rays are about to complete, but the cannons are a real threat, especially with some Void Rays in the air above them. That's not an insignificant amount of cannons. The Thor, the real backline here. His Viking Micro has improved over the course of this game. He's had a lot of opportunities to practice it. He needs to put all the Void Rays together. Ballpark is consolidating his forces. This is the end of his production. Cannons are killing Vikings. This is a real problem. I don't know if he knows it's a problem yet. Zoe now has 4,000 minerals because he just can't spend them. Ballpark is trying to hold on. He's got the he's putting them together. Is he ready to make his last stand? And he might have enough because the Vikings are still on the deck. Will they lift up in time? He does, but the Void Rays are charged up, burning through the Vikings. Only 3 survive. The Thor evaporates. Ballpark holds. And now he's got observers over the bases. What a play. What a play. He got the grand slam home run shot to tie up the game. It's not over yet. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the 15th. He's got to go all the way home. He's got to bring it there. He's got one last shot that Zoe is trying to build up, but he was supply blocked. He didn't have Marines. This base, the Liberators aren't going to help. They're sieged up. They will be eliminated if he decides to actually attack. That's a bunch of Void Rays. Ballpark coming in. He just backs off with the Liberator. Down goes the planetary. All these turrets are absolutely not gonna happen. He's building up Marines. He's trying to keep it together. The turrets are building. He doesn't have armor. The observer sees it either way. He's killing so many SCVs. The SCVs being sacrificed for the greater good. He's gonna come behind. The turrets are under attack. The Viking count is up to 7. So is the Void Ray count. The turrets don't finish. He kills a Viking almost right off the bat. The Viking versus Void Ray micro is off the charts. Does he have a charge up? Doesn't matter. The ranged turrets are actually clutching it right here. Keeping the TPM up is saving Zoe. He's trying to micro back, but the Viking micro is too damn good. Is there anything else in production? The production tab is empty. The Vikings are in the sky. He's keeping it together. The Vikings finish off the Void Rays. 45 Void Rays have been lost this game. 2 more Void Rays are in production. And Zoe saved his base. Zoe's like, oh, wait a second, I need to build units. And he has the money to do so. We've mined out so many parts of the map. But now he has all the depots. He's got some sort of maze of... I think that's actually like a hard wall in this area. Not that he needs it. There are no ground units. There's still 68 probes from Ballpark, putting his army supply at a respectable 10. At Ballpark realizing, wait a second, maybe I shouldn't build cannons because I'm actually broke. Zoe has to be very careful not to make the same mistake twice. He has maybe the army to win the game. After all of this, there are more Void Rays in production. Only 2 Void Rays on the field right now. But if he drops the Vikings down at the wrong time, that could spell disaster. 4 Void Rays is definitely very scary. He doesn't see the Void Rays over here. The cannon going to work the probe like, no, wait a second. Could you leave? Oh, is he camping the production on purpose or by accident? Oh, a Void Ray pops out. That Viking looks very angry at it. But the Marines stim in. He's going to be able to get the cannons. The Vikings are holding possession. Patience from Zoe. Right down the middle, the Vikings microing back. He will not be stopped. He cannot be stopped at this point. The Void Rays, once they're aligned, he doesn't know he can unalign them, and they will be slow in retreat. He's targeting the pylon, and that cannon will kill all the Marines. Oh no! He's thrown again. That's another error on the field in the 15th inning, and we're going to even more innings at this point. 4 Void Rays. Only 7 Vikings, and they're badly bruised. If he can get the jump on them... He's building more cannons. Another base. Ballpark might want to transfer some of his 65 probes. He's looking to expand. We're just going full circle around the whole damn map. What is on the field right now? A handful of... It looks like Zoe has spent his entire bank, and he may have built too many turrets and barracks, because he doesn't actually have that much money, and his supply is still near even. And the reserves is chasing down the Vikings. There's nothing in production for Ballpark. Zoe has 62 to 18 army supply, but there are cannons. There are cannons. The main base has... Well, there's still an observer over here. He sees it all. SCVs and... Zoe is waiting, which... I don't know if Ballpark realizes he has 65 probes on this base, which, you know, is a little on the high side. There's only 4 Void Rays. The longer the game goes on, the better off Zoe seems to be. Unless we actually mine out. In which case... another scan. I don't even know what he's scanning here. He scans the base. He sees the Void Rays. Will that trigger an attack? There is a cannon down here. There's like just enough Marines to not kill a cannon, I think. In this scenario. That's where we're at. He stims. He gets that first cannon. Okay, maybe it is enough to kill a cannon. He does have +2. The Void Rays. The probes are on the chase! He will not stand by. This happened 48 minutes ago. It'll happen again. He says, no. This is I don't care where we are on the map. But wait, it was a bait. Here come the Void Rays on it. The Vikings are on an intercept course. The Void Rays are exposed with no cannons to protect them. Ballpark will retreat, realizing his only chance is to fight with his cannons. Though he might realize at the same time that maybe in the past 5 or 8 times that Zoe has fought into the cannons, it didn't work out so well for him. Time is running out. Ballpark. He's gotta... It's gotta be a miracle. He's gotta steal home here. And Zoe is... Well, he's on the other side of the map. This could trigger a base trade. Will a base trade work? I mean, this is the play. The Void Rays, they're on their own. He charges them up. He's going for the base. Everything's on the way back. The observer sees it. Will he recall? I mean, he's done everything here. All he needs to... Oh, it's too late! It's too late! The Void Rays! He recalls like 3 of them. That doesn't matter. Only 2 will survive. Almost trying to make a mountain out of a molehill there. But Zoe looks like he might be able to finally get out number 3 and get out of this game. He's got everything. He's got all the tools. He just needs to use them. The Void Rays are caught out to try to save an assimilator that is mined out. What a world. And that's it! He tops it out! Zoe survives all of that. And he actually... He's still in the game afterwards. After 45 probes, 9 observers, 90 zealots, 25 tempests, 52 Void Rays, 6 phoenixes, 2 oracles, 8 assimilators, 33 pylons, 40 cannons, 4 shield batteries, Twilight, Fleet Beacon, 2 cyber cores, 2 forges, 11 stargates, a robo, 6 gateways, not warp gates, and 5 Nexi. Up, lost against 8 Thors, 19 Widow Mines, 129 SCVs, 2 Medevacs, 2 Banshees, 2 Hellions, 61 Vikings, 2 Liberators, 11 Siege Tanks, 20 Marauders, 174 Marines, a Raven, 4 Reactors, 10 Refineries, a bunch of assorted add-ons, 7 Barracks, an Orbital Command, 4 Sensor Towers, 2 Bunkers, 17 Turrets, an Armory, an Engineering Bay, 3 Starports, 3 Factories, 12 Supply Depots, and 3 Planetary Fortresses. Zoe knocks it out of the park. He wins. In what started with a cannon rush, it was described as dirty Protoss. Do you agree? If you think there were so many better ways that they both could have made it stop, make sure to leave a comment below or in the chat or wherever. Make sure to like and subscribe so more people can share your pain and see how dirty Protoss can be. I don't know if they were truly bronze, but that doesn't matter because I'm Bronze League Heroes. Only the heroes. Only the heroes part is what matters. What a game.